Class of 2020, good morning, seniors. Good morning. We are here this morning to give some really good information to you about college planning in general. That doesn't include just college planning, but just senior planning, because you will graduate, right? Woo! May coming's coming. Okay, I think I didn't turn it on. There we go. All right, we are excited this year. We have added to our staff. Some of you may have seen that you have a different counselor you're assigned to, so we want to do a quick introduction for you. Mrs. McMurray has the letters A through D. She's right over there. Mr. Solomon is the new counselor in our office. He has the letters last names E through J. I now have K through all of letter P, which is exciting. Mrs. Kreider, Q through S. Mrs. Kahneman has the T through Z's. And in our office, we have Mrs. Gwynn. Mrs. Gwynn is a career and tech ed specialist. She's a counselor. She's actually district-wide, but she is available also for some support in that area. All right, all of you have your own personal senior planning guide with your name on the top. If you can please open the inside cover. Dun, dun, dun. The big thing you've been wondering, right, is some information about you. So, you can see your own personal unweighted and weighted GPAs are listed, as well as your ranking and your total credits. This information you can have at your fingertips when you start applying to colleges, as well as for using scholarships or any other information. Hopefully, you guys have at least 16 and a half credits. Please look at the, oh yeah, I see some happy smiles, so you're good. Because you gotta get to 21 by May. All right. Now let's talk about the thing that everyone wants to know. Am I exempt from final exams? Here we go. I always want to do the total first. There we go. I like to do the total first. If you have 10 or higher, you are exempt from finals. That's an overall thing. But they also have two other ways for an exemption, right? You can be exempt from your English exams if you have a 480 or higher on your English. The other way is you have a 530 or higher. In the math section, you can also be exempt from math. So hopefully that applies to all of you. I see some happy faces, so that's good. All right, any questions about that? Moving on. So this planning guide, we have it sectioned off in different areas, so it's easy for you to see. In yellow, you'll have the college planning section. That's the next page. Green for money. That'll be financial and scholarships. The white is for useful documents. Blue is for career and military, as well as purple for you to take notes. So hopefully you have something to write with. We got some good information for you today. We are available to you on social media. So if you need any other information besides us actually emailing you or putting it out on the daily bulletin, we are also on social media with lots of good information. That's also this little piece of tidbit for you at the bottom. Social media tip for seniors, clean it up. We have found out that scholarships may sometimes want to see who they're investing in. So they will look on your Instagram. They will check you out on social media. So it's just good advice. Clean up your social media account. All right. This is the time that you kind of choose a certain path, and you can pick, maybe you want to start at a two-year college at SWIC that will lead into the four-year college. Maybe you'll start right away in the military. They'll go ahead and help pay for college, right? So we're going to discuss a lot of these things today, as well as you'll have time to meet with your counselor soon. College planning timeline. In the fall, you apply. In the spring, you decide. So we're going to start with college planning right now. In the fall, you apply. We have October 31st listed for a reason. We don't want you to miss out on any deadlines. That doesn't mean you couldn't apply later. You can, but this is just good advice. Don't miss deadlines. Check this out, October 31st. There will be other things discussed today in the booklet, like retaking your test, encourage college visits. What is the date today? Yes, what opens? The window to apply for financial aid, that will be discussed today. Search and apply for scholarships, all this is coming. And then in the spring, you decide. So in the fall, you can apply anywhere because you're applying without commitment, right? You just want to put yourself out there, see if you get some scholarships. Maybe you already have a plan. And then in the spring, when you get the information on scholarships and financial aid, you can make your final decision. There will be, each school will have their own deadline for that as well. All right, we're gonna move on to the next section. That will be Mrs. McMurray to discuss testing.
Good morning. We still have everybody? Okay. I'm Ms. McMurray. I'm just going to go through some testing information as well as some NCAA. How many of you, when you were looking through your book, were happy with your SAT score? Okay, a few of you. Those of you that were not, have you looked into taking it again? Yes? The deadline to register for the next date is tomorrow. So what do you need to do? If you're wanting to retake that SAT, get online at collegeboard.org and get that done. If you receive free or reduced lunch currently, you can come see your counselor and we can fill out a waiver for you so that way you have that in place when you go home tonight so that you can register. If you're interested in the ACT, you will also go online to register for that as well. Any questions on that? Okay, how many of you remember going on career cruising? Okay, some of you guys may have done that in your civics class sophomore year. Others of you may have done it through college and career prep. Okay, what we recommend, if you're a student who does not know what you want to do after you graduate, you're still not sure, you're not even maybe sure what you're interested in. Career cruising, we need you to get on, okay? This is a great resource for you guys to start answering some questions to try to figure out areas of interest, possible career choices, as well as possible college options. You will use your username and password that you normally use for Bella West. What I usually encourage my students to do is to go on and complete the matchmaker, which is 116 questions, and you just got to take your time and go through each question, but then that will generate a list that will also help your counselor to be able to work with you a little bit better to help you start narrowing down your areas of interest. You've also got bigfuture.com. That's going to be very college-based. That's a great resource for you to start looking at different colleges and trying to figure out which college is going to be the right fit for you. The next is college visits. Thank you. The next one's college visits. And what we encourage you is to get your feet on campus, okay? How many of you have already been to and done a college visit? Wonderful, that's a good group of hands. Those of you that have not, now is the time. You've really got to get there. We want you to be able to go meet with different people on the college campus. I always encourage students, eat a lunch there. If you're going to be living there, don't you want to know what you're going to be eating all the time? Check out the community around the school. You know, is it, you know, in a rural area? Is it in a suburban area? You need to be there to see what it is you're getting yourself into. We have had some students in the past that have chosen a college based on pictures online, or their boyfriend or girlfriend was going to go there, or a friend, so I'm going to go there. Are those good reasons to pick a college? No, definitely not. So we want you to actually go to those college visits, check out the school, and make an informed decision. How many of you are interested in doing college sports? A couple? Okay. Those of you that are looking to play college ball, what you really need to do at this point in the game, make sure you've already communicated with your coaches. Make sure that you know, or they know, that you're wanting to do that, whether it's your your club coach or your school coach, okay? They need to be on board. Also, you need to let your school counselor know. We would have preferred to know prior to now, but we can still work with you to try to make sure that you still meet eligibility. It is ultimately your responsibility to make sure that you are NCAA eligible. However, your counselor can work with you to make sure that you are in the appropriate classes that you need for graduation, as well as eligibility. And also we will look at test scores with you to make sure you meet the requirements that way. And also those of you that raised your hand, have you sent your test scores to NCAA Eligibility Center? If you have not, come see your counselor so that we can make sure that we get that done. Any questions on that? Nothing? Okay. How many of you have been on SWIC's campus? Okay, good number of hands. If you are a student who is looking to go to SWIC and you've not ever been on SWIC's campus, we need you to get there, okay? They have Wednesdays, Welcome Wednesday campus tours, great opportunity to get over there. Also, some of you may have been on SWIC's campus. Maybe you took an ACT test there, or you were with a sibling or a parent that maybe works there, but you didn't look at it from the perspective of a potential college for you. We would still recommend that you go and tour SWIC. Go talk to the admissions counselors, see what it's all about. The application takes about 10 minutes. You will need your social security number on hand in order to complete that application, so make sure you have it available when you go in. But otherwise, it's a really great resource that we have so close to home, and we would love for you to utilize it. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask your counselors. I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Solomon.
All right, good morning, seniors. I'm going to talk to you more so on the money side of your schooling. So the first thing I want you guys to take note of is October 2nd, which is actually tomorrow, is our college and financial aid night. So I hope to see all of you there. It's going to be at 6 o'clock in the Commons. And then also on October 24th, we have our Fast for Frisbee, which is going to be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So if we take a look at our piggy bank, most of your schooling is going to come from 4 sources. We have our private loans, federal loans, scholarships, and your FAFSA. The first 2, your private loans and your federal loans, the key word in that is loans, which means anything that you get from these 2 areas, you're going to have to pay back, right? So what do we want to do? We want to maximize the amount of money we receive through our scholarships and through our FAFSA. Scholarships are money given to you for your schooling that you don't have to pay back, and then also through your FAFSA, you may be able to qualify for some grants that you don't want to pay, that you don't have to pay back. So your goal is to get as much money and as much of your schooling paid for through scholarships and FAFSA that you don't have to pay back. All right. So FAFSA, what does it stand for? Free application for federal student aid. As we mentioned earlier, today the window opens for you to start your FAFSA application. You will also need your FSA ID number. That will act as your electronic signature. And if you look on the middle portion of the page that says FAFSA, the website that you will go on to create this is fsaid.ed.gov. So you will need your ID number that will act as your electronic signature. Some tips about when you're completing your FAFSA. The first word is free, so you should not have to pay to submit your FAFSA form. There are websites that charge you. Those are pretty much scams. So you don't want to go to those websites. You want to make sure that you input the URL correctly, which is right here, www.fafsa.gov. Anytime that you make a minor mistake or you put a character in a different spot or you add a different character, can take you to a different website that will charge you. So keep that in mind. Anytime you're completing the FAFSA, it should be absolutely free to you. October 24th is our FAFSA Frenzy Night, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., so take note of that. Hope to see all you there. Scholarships, as I just mentioned, you want to maximize your scholarships. I'm pretty much the person who is in charge of scholarships this year, so I post all the scholarships that come through the counseling department on our website. So if you go to the Belleville West website, under the counselors link, and then there's a scholarships link. All of those scholarships are up to date as of today. I post them every week, so every week you need to make sure that you're on top of it and you're continuously checking for the new scholarships that may be available to you. Also, we keep paper copies in the main office, in the counselor's office, and we have a master's list that keeps track of every single scholarship that we've posted. And also the bulletin that comes out every Thursday. You need to check that. It will be in there as well. These are some search engines that can help you find different scholarships that are out there. We also have many more search engines on the website, the Belleville West website. And also lastly, some dates that I want you to keep in mind. November 13th, we have our Scholarship One-on-One class. And also on February 26th, we have our Scholarship One-on-One class. It will be during your lunch period in the library computer lab. And as well, in the month of March, every single Wednesday, we have our scholarship workshop. That'll be in the conference room. So take advantage of all these opportunities that are out there for you so you can maximize your scholarships, have little to no debt when you do graduate from school. But if you have any questions, again, just come see one of us and we'll be able to answer your questions. And at this time, I'm going to pass it on to Ms. Kahneman, who's going to talk to you about other useful documents.
Thank you. Good morning, seniors. Exciting homecoming week and lots of senior stuff. I'm going to be talking to you about the white section in your booklet, so if you'll make sure that you're following along with me, that would be great. The first couple pages are just notes for seniors that are in regards to parchment. I'd like you to turn to the page that says Parchment Quick Guide to Setting Up Your Parchment Account. So it's the second page of the white section. Belleville West Counseling Department has decided that we would like to use this thing called the internet. Are you guys familiar with that? We just discovered it. We're going to start processing your transcripts online. So your first step is that you have to create an account. Just like any other online service, you have to have your own special access. So step one is to create your Parchment account. Then your next step is going to be to order your transcripts online. So you go to the Belleville West website. Down here where it's circled, it says transcripts. You click on that and it will take you to this page. You're going to be ordering your transcripts through the Belleville West ordering link that is circled on the website. There will be some instances where Parchment won't be able to process your online request. For example, if you're applying for a scholarship that Mr. Solomon has posted and you need a paper copy of your transcript, you need to come see Miss Sarah in our office and she will have you fill out a half sheet of paper that looks like this for any non-Parchment request. But for the most part, you're going to be processing all of your transcripts through our new online system. Any questions about Parchment? Okay. Next in your booklet, I'm also going to note additional transcripts that might be non-Belleville West. So I'm sure there are just a handful of you that have taken SWIC dual enrollment classes. You may also have taken AP US History as a junior, and you'll need your transcripts from those classes. If you took a class at SWIC, you have to go to the SWIC website and request your transcript to be sent to your college of choice. If you took a class at SLU, you will need to go to the SLU website to request your transcript. Again, like all of us have been saying, if you're struggling with something, we will be happy to help you in the counseling office. Another item that is in your booklet is the College Board information. What would I need my College Board account for? All of you should have made a College Board account with your English teacher. And if you followed the suggested format, you should be able to find your username and your password quickly. The English department suggested using the school network username. So the same username that you use to log into any computer in the building. And then as your password, it is suggested that you use hashtag capital W, lowercase est, and then your school password. If you followed that format, you should have no problem getting into your account. You use your College Board account to look at your test scores. You use your College Board account to register for AP exams. And you use your College Board account to send your test scores to your colleges of choice. Do not create a brand new account if you're having trouble accessing your account. Let me repeat that one more time. Do not create a new account if you're struggling with your password. You need to call the phone number and ask them to help you reset your account. If you create 2 accounts, it locks you out because it doesn't know who you are, and then you won't be able to view any of your test scores. So just be really careful accessing your account. Sending your test scores. How do I send my test scores when a college is requesting them? You have to go directly to the website for the test that you took. So if you decided to take the ACT, you have to go to your ACT account and send that to your school of choice. If you're using your College Board account, that would be for your SAT or your AP exam, that you're sending your test scores from that account. You just have to be really careful that you're saving your usernames and your passwords and you don't get confused on where you're sending your items from. The last thing I'd like to talk to you about in the white section of your booklet, if you're following along with me, is the letter of recommendation request form. Some of the scholarships that you apply for and some of the colleges that you are applying to are going to ask you for a letter of recommendation. Sometimes you need 1 letter, other times you might need 2 letters. You'll just have to read their instructions. This walks you through the process on how to get a letter. You want to find the person that knows you best. Sometimes that's a teacher from your junior year. Maybe that's a teacher and a coach that you've had, and they kind of double dip for you. They know you in 2 different ways. Okay? The person that knows you best. You fill out the letter of recommendation request form that's in your booklet. You can actually tear that right out of your booklet, and you're going to ask the person to write the letter for you and then give them the form. Again, you want to be polite, courteous, say please and thank you. Give them 2 weeks to write your letter, and then make sure you follow up with a thank you note once they've written the letter for you. The more time you give them to write the letter, the better letter you're going to get. I'm all finished with this section, and I'm going to pass this on to Mrs. Gwen. She's going to be covering the blue section of the booklet.
All right, good morning. I know, you're like, ooh, another one? I'm going to give you some information today that might be helpful for you. So some of you out here are thinking, you're saying a lot of stuff about college. I'm not sure what I want to do. I have no idea the career path I want to take, or perhaps I don't even know if I want to go to college. Maybe I want to enter a trade. Maybe I want to enter a technical field. Maybe I want to go to the military. We're going to kind of talk about those today. I want you to know that I am here if you have questions about career fields, okay? Some of you will need help deciding. That Career Cruising is a great resource for you, that one that Ms. Murray talked about, okay? Great resource for you. I will direct you there. There are also other tools that are shorter, and we can use those as well. So if you're needing help deciding what you're going to do, you are not alone. So we are here to help you. Your counselors are here. Some of you don't know, maybe you want to go into healthcare, and maybe you want to be a nurse, but maybe you don't have the GPA to get into nursing school right now. Maybe you want to go in as a CNA or a lab technician. There are all kinds of things that you don't know about healthcare that you haven't been exposed to yet. We can talk through those together, okay? Those are the kind of things that we do. There is an online referral form where you can refer yourself for me. I am here most every day except for Wednesday. That'll probably change here coming up in the next couple weeks. I'll be at East a little bit more often. But you can also see Mrs. Cook in the counseling office, and she can make an appointment. We'll talk about some other things too. I'm going to talk about getting into a technical or trade school. So some of you might want to be a welder. Maybe you want to get into cosmetology. Maybe you want to go into culinary school. There are lots of things that you can do that are technical, that don't require a 4-year degree. But I want you to treat it the way you would treat college, because it's the same process. I want you to know that you need to become familiar with the different options in the field, and then you need to kind of explore those. Look for colleges that might be fitting with your career path. We can talk about those together. The one thing I want you to know is that some of those colleges out there that are trade schools and technical schools, some of them are for profit, and they'll take your money sometimes and just leave you with nothing. Sometimes they're closing, and then taking all your money and you have nothing. We don't want that. How can we avoid that? You're looking for schools that accept federal financial aid. If they accept federal financial aid, you're pretty good. The federal government has backed them still, so you're pretty good, pretty sure that they're going to be reputable schools. The other thing I say is look for schools which are certified by the professional organization. For instance, if you want to be a veterinary technician, maybe you want to look at the Veterinary Association, the Veterinary Medical Association, to look for the accredited schools in that area. That is how you know that that is a school that is recognized and follows a certain curriculum, and it gives you certified credentials in that industry. You still want to talk to the admissions folks. You want to take a tour of their campus. All that same college information, you want to do that as well with your technical or trade school. You're also going to complete the FAFSA because you're going to want help paying for that college. The other thing I'm going to tell you is if you're interested in saving some money, a lot of the community colleges in the state of Illinois, whether it be SWIC or another one, will have most of the programs that are available very, very inexpensive. And that is a really good way to know that that's a certified program. They're certified and they're inexpensive. All right. Some of you might need help with resumes. Some of you might need help with interviewing. A lot of you will be doing resumes and interviewing for scholarships, for colleges, and for career opportunities after high school. I want you to know that there are several resources. I put them all out here. I know that we're not going to go through all of them today, but if you need help with a mock interview, we can do that. I can set you up. You can come in my office like you're interviewing with me. I can ask you some questions and kind of prepare you for a real live interview, whether it be a scholarship interview or a job interview. You're going to want to put a resume together for scholarships, for colleges, perhaps for a job. They're all three going to be different. We'll talk to you about the differences, the nuances of each of those. So if you need help with your resumes, we want you to make sure that they're top notch, that you're representing yourself well. We can help you with that. Okay. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the military. So anyone in here planning to join the military after high school? No? Nobody? Okay. If you change your mind, we are offering the ASVAB here, which is the test to get into the military, on December 5th. If you want to, you can sign up in the counseling office with us and we'll get you signed up for the test. Also in your booklet, you'll see a list of recruiters, and that will be helpful for you if you're interested in joining a branch of the military. Questions? Good? All right. Mrs. Kreider's got the last section.
Thank you. All right, seniors, the next step of the process. We've made it through the booklet. You guys feeling okay? I know it's a lot of information. I'm just going to echo what each one of us has said, is that we're here to help you through the process. We're not expecting you to take this home and complete it all tonight. It's a process, and there's different parts of the booklet that pertain to each one of you, and you're all at different parts of the process. One thing I'd like to highly encourage is that you check your email, okay? Your seniors, you've all been given email addresses, right? How many of you guys are checking your email? Oh gosh. Okay, hopefully I can get all of you guys to raise your hand if I ask that question next week, because there's so much going on, and the email is the one way that we can kind of try to reach you. There's a lot of events that are happening. We're also going to be sending out an email actually later today. So I'm going to skip on to this slide. So you're each going to get an email from your assigned school counselor. And within that email is going to be a link to our actual calendar. We're asking you to check your email, follow the link, and you're actually going to put yourself on our calendar. We're going to have appointment slots. We're reserving time over the next several weeks to meet with our seniors. So you would click the link, like I said, and choose an appointment slot that works for you. All right, the reason why we'd like to sit down with you is because we know you probably have some questions. After this presentation, like I said, you're all at different places, so some of you might be at the very beginning where you're not even sure where to start and you're overwhelmed. Some of you may be ready to send your transcript and you know exactly what school you want to go to. Okay, so we understand that you're all at a different space, but talking to you individually helps us see how we can better help you. So we ask that you put yourself on our calendars in the next couple weeks by following the link. Take into consideration your schedule and try to sign up during your free time. So if you have a release hour or a full hour lunch or a study hall, put yourself on our calendar during that time so you're not missing class time. You will not actually get a pass from us to attend this meeting, so be sure that you keep track of that appointment. You can screenshot or print out the appointment slot to show a teacher if you do need to come out of class. If you do think you need a pass, you're welcome to come see Mrs. Cook in the counseling office and she can give you a pass. But please don't sit in class and wait for us to send for you, okay? If you're on our calendar, we're gonna assume you're gonna show up, all right? Your homework assignment prior to our meeting, we would like for you to have some general ideas about your future. We understand that you're gonna be confused and we don't need you to have all the answers, but if you have a couple career options that you've considered, maybe a few colleges that you know that you would like to apply to, if you're going into the military, hopefully you have an idea of which branch you're considering. So come to us with some ideas. I'm going to back up one more slide and talk one more time about other things you're going to be finding in your email. So again, this email is going out when? Later today. And you're going to click on the link and make an appointment with your counselor. Other things in your email, the daily bulletin. Mr. Solomon talked about scholarships going into the daily bulletin. What day of the week? Anybody remember?
Every Monday.
Close. It's uh-oh. Glad we reviewed that one. Every Thursday in the daily bulletin are the new scholarships. Okay, he talked about a couple different ways he posts those scholarships. It's the same scholarships, it's just posted multiple ways so that we can reach you. College reps. How many of you guys know that we have college representatives coming to our school almost daily? Okay, several hands. So we have schools that you're probably interested in. Missouri State, Mizzou, SIUE, Eastern, SEMO, they all come to our school once a semester, and we call it college rep visits. We put it in the bulletin so that you guys know they're here. If you're interested in those schools, please sign up to see them. They come for 30 minutes, they give you some brochures, they can answer your questions. They are the experts on those colleges. They know everything there is to know, and if they don't know, they'll get back to you with an answer. It's also a good way to get connected to someone at that school. So if you think of a question a week down the road, well, guess what? You now know the name of your admission rep for that particular school. So pay attention to the bulletin for college reps, and you can sign up to see them through Mrs. Cook. And we keep talking about Mrs. Cook. Do you all know who that is? Yeah. Yes? Who is it? The lady at the front desk in the counseling office. Yeah, she's our main secretary. Also, on-the-spot admissions. Anybody know what that is? Because you're not checking your email? Yeah. All right, so on-the-spot admissions, we actually have 5 colleges that have made appointments to come in, and they spend quite a bit of a day here. And what they're doing is they're offering seniors who meet the requirements. There is a minimum GPA and a minimum test score to sign up. You get like a 10 to 15 minute slot where you actually sit down with an admissions counselor and you find out on the spot if you're admitted. And the best part about this, you guys, they waive the application fee. So, by a show of hands, how many of you guys are planning to apply to one or more of these schools? Hands, quite a few. Would you like to save about $30 for each school? Right? Yeah, why not? So, October 3rd is SIUE. I have a feeling we're getting a little close to that. Is Ms. Daniels? I know Friday was supposed to be the deadline for that. but if that's something you're interested in, you can still swing by the office and see if we're able to accommodate you. But definitely Murray State, EIU, Western, and McKendree. These two are open right now, so if you're interested, come see Mrs. Cook and get signed up for those. The November dates for Western and McKendree will be coming soon. We've already discussed the college planning night tomorrow night. It's going to be starting in the Belleville West Commons, starting at 6 p.m. sharp. We'll have 13 different colleges represented, and they'll have a college panel. We'll also have breakout sessions for financial aid. So for those of you who are listening to the FAFSA part and you're like, oh my goodness, we need so much help with this, this would be a great event to come and bring your family. We'll also have College Essay 101 and Scholarships 101 offered, as well as a mini college fair. We'll also have application workshop in the library computer lab during lunch hours on October 17th. So you remember that October 31st kind of suggested deadline? That's coming up kind of quick. So if you find yourself still maybe October 17th haven't applied to a school yet, I highly encourage you to come get some help. Because sometimes it's just carving out the time in your day, and it's not as hard as you think it is, okay? How many of you guys have completed a college application already? A couple hands? Was it okay? Okay. Sometimes it's more scary to think about it than it is actually hard to do. So I encourage you to just get one done, and you'll realize it's not so scary. We also have a representative from ISAC, which stands for Illinois Student Assistance Commission. Her name is Miss Lydia Burton, and she spends the lunch periods with us here every Thursday, and she's in our school counseling conference room. She allows for students to walk in and get her services, so if you're interested in just a little more help trying to figure out your plan, or trying to fill out a college application, a scholarship application, sending a transcript, consider stopping in and seeing her on Thursday. All right, that concludes our presentation. Does anybody have any questions for the greater good of the group? Yes?
Can you send as many transcripts as you want in March?
Yeah, so she asked, is there a limit to the amount of transcripts I send through Parchment? And as long as you are a current Belleville West student, there is no limit and there is no charge. However, once you graduate, there is a charge associated with sending your transcript. Yes?
If you graduate in December, will it still charge something not a student?
As a December grad, you would still have until it's August that it transfers over. So you would still have through August to send for free. You guys have been awesome, okay? This is a really big year for you, and we just want to reiterate that we're here to help you through the process. So don't be a stranger. Set up your appointment with your counselor, and we look forward to working with you, okay? Does somebody want to press stop for me there?